Welcome to episode 1, season 1 of our new podcast, Ways to Work. We're Project Iowa, and we're here to connect with you and talk about what Project Iowa can offer you and provide you with insight about finding your purpose and stability at work. So we are your hosts. We have Jamie Loggins Evans over here, Director of Communications and Marketing, and I'm Chris Noth, YouthWorks Director. And today we're joined by our Executive Director, Julie Fugenschuh, at Project Iowa, to answer the question, what is Project Iowa? And so we're excited to get started. Episode 1, first one ever. So Jamie, are you ready to dive in?
I am ready to dive in. And I'm so glad we're starting with Julie.
Absolutely.
This will be a fun conversation. So, Julie, thanks for being here with us today. And if you could just spend a little bit of time telling us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be the Executive Director.
Well, I am super excited for this new adventure. I've been with Project Iowa since we started, and that was in 2011. So it's been a while. I don't think in the beginning I would have ever thought we would be sitting here doing a podcast about the ways of work, but I'm super excited about it. I'm excited to reach new audiences. We came about to help people in the metro area find careers that paid a livable wage. They really just wanted to work one job that was stable, that had benefits, that could provide for their family. And so we started off by doing welding, and we had CNAs, and we've evolved over the years to really meet the needs of what the community is looking for in work and what is paying a livable wage.
Absolutely. And this is really a community effort, it sounds like. And so who were some of those folks, those key people at the beginning, Julie, that kind of came together and decided that this needed to happen?
It was a concept and an idea that came out of Amos House Meetings. And Amos is a mid-Iowa organizing strategy. And so what they do is they have kitchen table conversations is really what they do. And they ask individuals what keeps them up at night. And so what came up and rose to the surface of this was that we had many people in our community that were working multiple jobs and being underpaid, and they just wanted stability for their family, American dream, right? Just one job that was stable, that provided for them. And so Amos went and looked at other organizations that had been doing this type of work, namely Quest in San Antonio. They took a lot of the dignitaries down there to look. I was not included in that. I'll just say that.
You weren't a dignitary?
I was not a dignitary at that time. But they took people from the state, Rob Denson, different people that had been doing work in our community, and they went down and looked at the model, and they said, wow, this is fantastic. Yes, we can do this. We can replicate this. So they came back, and I had been working in another role, but working with Amos, and that my other role was ending, and so I transitioned over to the Executive Director of Project Iowa, and we got it off the ground in 2011. And I can tell you, we've been through, our road is not straight in what we've done. It's been curvy. We've went through, downturns in the economy. We've had COVID. We've had lots of different happenings, closures of companies here in Polk County, and we just keep getting back up and finding new ways to get people into employment.
Since 2011, you've probably seen a lot of changes, like some of those that you just mentioned, Julie. How would you estimate we're doing on you talk about living wage jobs and helping people find dignified work and stability and purpose? Do you think we've made progress since 2011? Like, how do you think about that?
Well, I think yes and no. I think a nonprofit wouldn't be around for 14 years, 15 years if it wasn't needed and necessary. So I believe that's been part of our sustainability. As a social worker, I would like to work myself out of a job, and I don't think we're at that point. I think a livable wage has really changed since I started. I mean, back in the day, we were talking $13 to $15 an hour was a livable wage, and that's nowhere near a livable wage today. We're talking more in 20 to 25 needs to be the average for someone to survive and live comfortable. And when we say live comfortable, we aren't talking about trips to Disneyland. We're talking about live comfortable, childcare, car, housing, insurance, exactly. So yes, I think we are successful. I think we're learning a ton. We have grown. We're trying new ways to deliver our message. We brought YouthWorks on, so now we have youth involved in the workforce entering into. So yes, we're successful. And do we still have a lot of work to do in our community? Yes.
One thing that has always impressed me about Project Iowa, and this was even before I was on the team, was that you would, and not to overuse this term because it's overused, but Project Iowa's pivoted a lot, right, throughout the years. And so tell us a little bit about that and why you think it's important that Project Iowa continues to stay in the know about workforce, et cetera.
Well, one of the things that I think is the biggest benefit of being a nonprofit, and there are some benefits and there are some drawbacks. Let's just put that out there right in the beginning. But one of it is I always wanted to be fluid and flexible. When you get into training people in a community college setting or a college setting or even some trades, they're very managed. You really have to go through a lot of hoops in order to get the curriculum and to do stuff. And is there a need for all of that? Absolutely. So, but not everybody can do that, right? And so we wanted an alternative in which we could train specifically to what businesses wanted. And what we heard over and over and over again was it was really around the soft skills versus the technical skills. So we partner with other people to do some technical skills sometimes, and then we do the soft skills of, how to show up to work, what your attitude means when you get to work, how to bring what's happening at home into the workplace in an appropriate manner, what not to bring in. We do a lot around wellness, because over the years we discovered about 80% of people's doctor's visits are stress related.
Wow.
And where does that stress come from? Typically work. I mean, you spend a lot of time at work. So really giving people the tools to be impactful and a great employee, because that's what we want too, right? We want them to go out and really contribute to the community and the company they work for and feel really good about themselves.
So you mentioned some programs we've started, some we've stopped. Things have evolved over time. Mm-hmm. Can you give folks a sense of some of those programs, which ones we're still doing, which ones maybe we've discontinued, that kind of thing?
Our core curriculum, Cultivating Careers, is really based on what we started everything on, which is also like Project Quest down in San Antonio, in the fact of it holds people accountable to finish and to complete and to do the tasks they set out to. It's one in which we enter into a relationship. So Project Iowa is all about the relationships. It is not a transactional setting, meaning you don't come in and get something and then leave, right? It's about us getting to know you, what your needs are, how we can assist you with that, how we can help you grow with what you want to do. So Cultivating Careers is still there. We started that program with the beginning. And what's changed about it, Chris, is that as COVID came and as things have happened, we recognize time is a valuable asset for many people. And so people don't have time. And so we've shortened it. We still have all the core curriculum in it, but we've made it so that people can get through the program in a shorter period of time. The new things that we've brought on is YouthWorks, which is a 9-month internship program for seniors in high school in order to introduce them to the business world and what it looks like. It's a paid internship, which we're really proud of. We've partnered with great businesses. We're in one high school currently here in Des Moines with the hopes to grow to another one next year. We'd like to be in all of them eventually. It's been a huge success, and it's really just taking our curriculum down to those in high school to give them opportunity to see and to participate in a world that they may not have ever walked into, and that's a business world, right, where there's a tire and all these unwritten rules. And so we're trying to help youth understand the unwritten rules of what business world looks like.
Right. And thinking about that workforce journey and how it does start at a young age.
Absolutely.
It's not when someone's 45 and looking for a new job or something. It starts way sooner.
No, and so the other part of our program, like you just mentioned, our age, I think, averages 35 to 54 right now, is what it's looking like in cultivating careers. So that career journey, it goes on forever, right? We don't think, oh, come to Project Iowa and you'll find your perfect career and it's a direct A to B. It's a zigzag all over the place. And because of life circumstances, because of community circumstances, what you want to do and where you want to go can change. And we're here to help you navigate that journey. And so we do it through YouthWorks, we do it through Cultivating Career. And then the other new thing that we're doing is how we deliver services. After COVID and after really coming back into the office and looking at how people have shifted their values and their priorities, we adjusted ours. You know, sitting waiting for people to come get our service, although it's fantastic, isn't always the best way to do that. People are really busy. People have lots of priorities. People have lots of obligations. And so we began thinking about how we could change how we deliver our product. Because we have a product, right? It's a product of how to find your purpose through your workplace. And so we asked ourselves, well, where are all the people? Where are people gathering? Where can we access individuals and share our product? And we came up with food pantries because that's currently, we know there's high usage right now. We also know many of those people are working, but they may be looking for different kind of work, or they may need to increase their income by asking for a raise or getting another side hustle or a job. So we have created the rooted model in which we route a job coach into another organization, and currently they're in Urbandale Food Pantry and DMARC Southside Food Pantry, to really get to know individuals and then provide our services as needed versus waiting for them to come to us and go through a class. However, sometimes the recommendation is, hey, why don't you go over and go through this class, but it's just getting to meet people where they are.
Yeah, location.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
We're kind of like the Starbucks in Target.
Yes.
So Project Iowa has rooted itself into Urbandale Food Pantry and the DMARC Southside Food
now
Pantry.
You're speaking Jamie's language.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I was coached well.
Yeah. So I want to hear a little bit about your view on the successes and impact that you think Project Iowa has made over the last, what'd you say, 12, 13, 14 years?
Yeah. The successes are, I would see the successes and impact. We're still here and we've grown. It started out with just me as a single employee with some facilitators. We're now six to seven strong because we're hiring. So I think that says success. I think that our ability to be nimble and quick and responsive to the community is also a success. As a need is risen and we see like they need lots of people doing welding, we responded and got into a relationship with DMAC and did some of that. Our relationship in the community is really strong, and I would consider that a success. We do everything at our organization, not only with our customers who are participants, we call them all participants, but that our relationship is strong within organizations in the community as well. One of the other things I forgot to tell you that we did is we also do poverty simulations.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to educate and teach people about what it's like to live in poverty. So there's lots of ways we're out there There are lots of ways we are out there impacting the community and building community and relationship. And so I think, our placement rates, you can look at those numbers. You can come and talk to many graduates who have went through our program about the success that they found. And I think a gal was just in the office the other day who were helping find employment, and she had just moved here from another country, and she was just stating that she was so happy she found us because we provided a community, we provided support, and we provided the information on how to go out and to seek employment. And we'll stay with her until she finds that employment. That's part of the Project Iowa pledge. So as long as you'll have us, we'll keep doing it till we find that right career.
Well, what do we say? Once Project Iowa, always Project Iowa. So
Correct.
So one of the things that makes us different, I'm going to go ahead and just say different, is that we really focus on the relationship and not the transaction, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like, come in, we'll find you a job, good luck, peace out, right?
Right.
Tell me why that was such an important value to the founders of Project Iowa and still today with you and our team.
Right. I was, when you said that, I was just thinking, Chris does a really great job of, like, when we're matching students, really getting to know them and asking them what they're interested in, and then we make the placement of an internship based on their want or need, because, you know, you can choose something, but if it's not important to you, it's not going to be successful. So I really think that we do a great job of meeting the person where they're at the time that they come to us and hearing what they have to say. We truly believe the answer is in the community. So we don't have teachers, we have facilitators, because we believe that in relations that we need to build community, and then we need to seek the information and the answers from that community. And that only happens through relationships. So we really work hard at making it a safe place to be. We use the term sanctuary, in which that you can thrive and grow and learn. Because if you don't feel safe somewhere, whatever it is that you're teaching or what you're going to be worried about your safety, right? And so we work very, very hard from the beginning, our first interaction with people, to let them know that it's safe, it's a community in which you belong, and that we will work together. We don't save anybody. We are here walking hand in hand, side by side, offering opportunities, opening doors, and teaching new skill sets. So, and you have to do that through relationship, because otherwise it doesn't work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to kind of stay on that for a second, the relationship piece. Julie, can you tell us about kind of what this role means to you in your life? I mean, it seems like there's this role that you've had, just so you. It's so naturally you and your passion. How do you see this role or Project Iowa in your life and what it means to you?
You're totally right, that it is a lot of me, and that's what happens when you get to start up a company. You bring a lot of your own values and your own, and they live through the organization. I just believe that the only way someone gets ahead or finds stability is through community. So I don't really believe in the pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, I think there's a piece of that. But I know I got where I was today because I had a great family that supported me. I had community that supported me. I have friends that supported me. And when we began this adventure, one of the questions we ask is, do you have anybody you can count on? And I can't tell you the number of times people said no. There's not one person I have that I can count on. And it broke my heart. And I realized how blessed I was, but I also said, we can do that. We can be those people. Now, we believe we don't do anything for anyone that they can do for themselves, because we want to give people agency. And what we've seen when people come to us, a lot of time their agency has been taken away, meaning they describe themselves as a felon or as a drug addict or, I was just a stay-at-home mom, or and that. We're like, no. You're a human that has potential, that has tons of gifts and talents that you can give back to this community, that this community needs. So let's help you discover those. So, I mean, that's really the journey of it. And so for me personally, I want to build when our community is doing well, when everybody in our community is doing well, we're all doing well. It doesn't take away from anybody else if somebody gets a $25 an hour job. It only adds to our community. So it's really based on equity in a lot of ways too. Why do some people make $13 an hour and some make $22 and they have the same skill set? Let's try to get that so that it's equaled out a little bit. And then I truly believe once A thriving community means everybody's thriving, and we still have a lot we're leaving behind.
Absolutely. It's not really a myth, but just the reality of here in Iowa, we have a worker shortage. There's not enough people moving here. Population is not growing. And so they say it's so hard to find workers. It seems like there's a lot of workers that are here or people who want to work, and there's just this disconnect. And what do you make of that?
Well, and that's originally why we were formed, Chris, the bridge, the intermediary between those seeking work and those wanting workers. And I think in all my time doing this, and I will continue to do it, it's about education and advocacy, as you said, Jamie. There are workers. They just don't look or speak the languages that they used to. So there are a lot of refugees, immigrants here that are willing to work. There are a lot of people that have criminal histories or backgrounds that are willing to work. There are a lot of people that are switching of jobs that may not have the exact skill set you want, but may be able to transfer them. There's working or moms that worked at home that now want to get into the work. I mean, it looks very different than it did. And I think businesses, in order to thrive and to grow, have to be, I would like to encourage them to open their minds to the diversity of the workforce that's out there, because I do believe we have people available and willing to work and want to work. We just haven't made those connections yet. And in that, there's always opportunities. So I get excited about new collaboration with new partners. I get really excited. We have to be innovative. We have to be creative. We have to come up with new ways. We can't keep doing things the way we're doing. And so part of this call to action, you said there wasn't one, but I would like to invite, and I really am open. I love working with other people, and I know I don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers. We have great knowledge and information about what we do, but if we can continue to bring imaginative, creative people together to talk about the issues that are surrounding our community, we can come up with some great solutions. And it's not always about money. It's about how we work differently together. So I would invite anyone interested in making our community better and finding creative ways to do that. I'm always willing to come to the table, and I hope you'd come to our table as well. So that's what would be my...
Great.
Yeah.
Well, my last question was going to be around how do people get involved with Project Iowa?
Well, the other thing is we do community events. As I said, we're really big into building community, and I think that's the cornerstone of how we become healthy humans and a healthy community. And so we do community yoga. We have community events where we celebrate the youth that have graduated. We celebrate our participants that graduate from Cultivating Careers. We have galas, of course, and fundraisers that you can get involved with. I'm open to any outreach that somebody would want to do. Come take our class, Cultivating Careers. Our classes are free, and I've had so many people go through them that I've invited many times that thought, oh, well, I don't need it. I'm just going to go see what they're doing for those people. And
that was me, if I'm being completely honest. I was like, oh yeah, I love Julie. I'll go take her class. Yeah, it was a little different than I thought it was going to be, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, see? So because it's community. You could come in, if you already have a job and you may not be looking for a job, you could sit next to Chris, who is looking for a job, and you know somebody in ABC. I mean, that's how we do community. Or you can really learn something about wellness and pick up some new techniques. So I invite you. You can go online and you can register for classes. Like I said, they're free. And so we also have opportunities, I guess, for internships. So if you're a business and you've got somebody interested in doing a YouthWorks internship, Chris is your man. And so there's just, if you call me, I'll find a way. We want everybody, come on in.
Yeah, and this goes a little bit against my marketing brain, but Project Iowa is truly for everyone.
We'll find a role for you
Yes.
somewhere in it, because
Yep.
we believe everybody can contribute to the
Yep.
community in some way. So we'll find it.
Yeah, wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, viewers, listeners. Stay tuned for our next episode dropping pretty soon about cultivating careers, where we'll dive more into that signature program. We'd love to hear from you in the meantime. So send us questions, comment on the episode, share it wherever you get your podcasts. And until then, stay inspired and keep striving for purpose and stability in your work. Thank you.